Hi there, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Today, I would like to share with you the top 10 myths about being a professional dancer. So here we go. Number 1, people think we were born dancers. Totally not true. All of us started as dead-on beginners. Most of us remember our very first ballroom dance class. So when you come into a lesson, rest assured we have nothing but empathy for you because we have been in your shoes starting from ground zero. And there is a bit of a ramp up when you learn ballroom and Latin dancing. So at first it's kind of rough going. But once you learn more and more dances and you see the technique applies to all the dances, your growth definitely accelerates. So I never ever want my students to feel insecure about how they dance or for one microsecond think that I am looking down on them for not dancing like champions. We were born beginners and everyone starts that way, okay? Okay, number 2 myth. People assume that we have an extraordinarily glamorous lifestyle. And while there are elements of our lifestyle that are glamorous, for example, those moments on the red carpet where you see stars walking in expensive gowns, you know what, guys? It's ultimately a fantasy. It's just a snapshot that you might see online. Literally a snapshot. You do not see what's going on behind the scenes, okay? We are hooking and jabbing in the trenches just like everyone else. I am on the floor on my hands and knees every kitchen morning in my blue jeans, scrubbing with Pine Sol, okay? We often on social media, all of us put our best foot forward. But again, it is a snapshot, is a glimpse. And it's usually the most positive glimpse of someone's life. So for example, if I have a bad part of my day, a bad meal, I'm not going to post that on Facebook. No one needs to see that negativity. But you know what? If I have a really cool part of my day, heck yeah, I'm going to post that. Do I think I look extra cute in this ballroom dance costume? Heck yeah, well, I'm going to post that, okay? So we're no different. As a matter of fact, I have a couple pro friends who have children and spouses in the ballroom dance industry. And they often post pictures at competitions on Facebook, social media, that look very glamorous. For example, they're poolside in Vegas with their kids. They've got their martini. Looks like, whoa, that must be life. But the reality is they're working those butts off at that comp. If you work with a spouse, the rules prohibit you from judging on the same panel as your spouse, which makes sense. You want to be fair. So you work a completely opposite schedule of your spouse. You can't have your children with you on the floor. You have very little time off. So that snapshot at the pool that looks like it's the glam life is literally a half-an-hour snapshot out of a day that they did not spend with their children, did not spend with their spouse, did not spend outside of the pool. Reality check, they're probably skipping dinner to get that pool time. Okay, this is just how it is in real life, okay? Okay, and next step, number 3, people think we only dance. And you know what? Yes, I love ballroom dancing, but that's not the sole aspect to my life. Me and every other ballroom dancer I know, when they get to the professional divisions, have many other interests. I love hiking. I love laying out in the sun and swimming. I like going out to dinner, going to movies, taking my daughter places that are fun like the zoo or the science center, all sorts of fun stuff, okay? So we are complete human beings. This is a little different for amateurs, especially at the elite levels, because you're fully dedicated to ballroom dance if you're trying to get to that championship level. That's just true. Doesn't mean they don't wish they were doing other things, but there's just generally not the money or the time at that stage of ballroom dance life, okay? Okay, number 4, people assume, oh, ballroom dancers, you're all so beautiful. You have such perfect bodies. And in a way, yes, I would say compared to the rest of society, but you know, beauty does encompass a wide variety of looks, okay? And what you might see and perceive as beautiful when you see pictures and video is much more likely their confidence. Even if they're not confident, because we are all human beings and self-conscious about different things, we have great posture if we're a professional. And so that looks confident. You know, are we necessarily, you know, walking around looking like Barbie? Heck no. But let's face it, confidence is generally attractive to both men and women, okay? And that's certainly something ballroom dance incorporates into your life. Not only as a championship level professional, but it's something healthy that, for example, children get out of it when they get really into ballroom dancing, okay? Okay, number 5, there is a myth that we can do this for a lifetime. And frankly, I bought into this as an amateur dancer when I turned pro. My parents were very unsupportive. They were like, Sunny, you can't expect to do this your whole life. What are you thinking? You're not going to always look like this. Okay, so it's true. You're not going to only look like this. But here's some other truths. Your body can poop out on you on any time, at any time. And we are beholden to our bodies. And as such, we often cannot do this as we get older, however much we would like to, okay? As I previously shared, in ballroom dancing, I've taken with many very mature, even in their 80s, ballroom dance professionals, and they are great. Are they teaching 40 hours a week? No, but absolutely they continue dancing. I see very few elderly Latin pros because it's very hard on their body. And you know what? Your body can poop out despite dancing. You know, people come down with diseases and arthritis and everything else, even with sedentary, healthy lifestyles, okay? So generally, we cannot do this for our whole life. This is partially why we tend to charge a lot for our time, because we have put so much, invested 100% of our time and our money into this career. It would be like being a patent attorney and then, oh, well, you're too old for this. Why don't you just go back to school and invest in becoming a nuclear physicist? You know, ballroom dancing doesn't work that way. It definitely is a full investment to become a professional, especially an elite level professional. Okay, guys, so I wish we could do it our whole lives. I certainly hope to do it my whole life. I minimize teaching Latin so I can do it as long as I can, but no, we can't do this our whole lives. And when I started out teaching, I thought I could. And even now, when I'm a middle-aged lady, no, I can't do it as much as I used to, however much I would love to, okay? Okay, myth number 6, we have a ton of time off. Okay, so this is like regular teachers. There's an illusion that, hey, I show up for 5 lessons a day and then I go off and hang out poolside. Okay, so we generally don't work 40 hours a week, especially as we get older. We can't. But we're not sitting on our butts eating ding-dongs and watching soap operas during that off time. A good teacher is investing in their students on their off time. I am researching the latest teaching techniques. I do watch current ballroom comp videos because the trends change over time, and I teach competitors. I want to be fully on top of that so I can give students the most for their money, okay? I don't want to rest on my laurels. I am reflecting on my students' last private lesson they took. What did I see that was their greatest weakness? How can I best attack that with their personality so they can master that in their next private with me? I don't just think on the fly on my lessons. I'm investing a ton of time outside of my lessons to give you the highest quality hour or 45 minutes, depending on if it's a group class or a private lesson, that you can pay for in that block of time, okay? Okay, myth number 7, we exercise a lot. And I get this question tons, probably more often than any other question when I'm doing a pro show. And this is laughable, okay? Now, as an amateur, I did sprint running. to keep my cardio up. As a pro, our body can't keep up with a hardcore, high impact fitness routine. Number two, I'm dancing all the time. You dance a lot more as a pro than you do an amateur because you're doing that with a partner. You're preparing for shows, you're teaching, you're doing prime. You do dance a ton. That's all the exercise we need, and probably even too much at that. So no, we don't exercise. If we do some sort of fitness program, it's generally yoga, something to do with flexibility, okay? Okay, myth number 8, we started dancing, we have to start as children. Now, the reality is most pros do start as children, but not all. I didn't start until I was a very young adult. I did, however, do like other related styles, contemporary, ballet, swing, growing up. But I was relatively late in life to starting ballroom dance, and I became a championship level dancer. Anything's possible if you have enough money. Okay. Also, I do know a couple male pros who started straight up, never danced at all until they were adults, and became really elite world championship level dancers starting as adults. That being said, they had championship level instructor parents who gave them free lessons. So that's a huge benefit to them. But you know what? Anything's possible, particularly if you have deep pockets. When I started, I was making very good money. I had a career outside of dancing, and I paid for a boatload of lessons and practiced tons every week, took as many lessons as I could for years to catch up and then surpass these other people that did start as children that used to be ahead of me, okay? Number 9, people assume we're skinny because we dance. And yes, that definitely helps because I cannot be shoving food in my face when I'm teaching, although I do suck down a lot of coffee. But it's not 100% of it. The vast majority of us do exercise some sort of constraint in our eating, some more than others, okay? And as I shared recently in a video, a popular kind of diet that professional dancers follow is keto. A lot of them also do intermittent fasting. And the reason that they intentionally stay slender isn't so we look like $1 bajillion and whatever. It's so we can dance longer, because when you have more weight on your body, it is harder on your joints, okay? And I would say that's also a sacrifice we make as professional ballroom dancers. Trust you me, I love a peanut butter parfait and a big giant pizza as much as anyone else, but I haven't eaten that way in years. Guarantee the second I retire though, I'm gonna jump on that bandwagon. Okay, number 10 myth is our final myth of the day. Although I can think of umpteen more, maybe I'll share video number 2. We have the best job in the world. Okay, first of all, in most cases, for professional championship level dancers that are currently teaching, this is 100% true. But I have known professional championship level men, never any women, but I have known a number of men who burn out. And many amateur championship level men and women who could have turned pro, who chose not to because they grow to resent it. They lose their love for it. And that's really sad to see, because that is a loss to our industry and the future art, to lose those educated people who are no longer teaching. But yes, teachers do retire even when they have enough clientele. They just, for whatever reason, they burn out, they grow to hate it, they get frustrated glide handling students. I think men, teachers can sometimes especially have a high maintenance ladies. I've never had that problem with male students. I think they're amazing and have never, ever been demanding of my time. And I joyfully give them my time. But there are a lot of pros that don't feel this way. They literally want to ignore that lady, walk on the floor, dance, and see ya. So that is somewhat of a myth. Although in most cases, we absolutely love it. And it is the best job in the world. Honestly, I cannot imagine myself doing anything else on the planet. I love it. Joyful every day. So I hope that's been interesting to you guys. Those are the top 10 myths for what it's like to live as a professional ballroom dancer. Thank you for joining me today. See you tomorrow.